Hi there guys, so this video is for those of you that are doing land use topics. So last week's task was basically to describe what your graphs were showing. So what we're doing this week is we're now starting to give reasons. Now there's a crucial difference between a description and an explanation. A description is what does something look like. So for example, someone has got blonde hair. An explanation is a reason. So if someone's got blonde hair, it could be that they're going to the hairdresser and they're going to dye blonde. Okay, so what you're doing this week is you're giving your explanations, your reasons for what you found last week. So once you've described it, the next step is to explain it. So this particular section is worth 10 marks. Now the whole assignment is out of 20. So this is half of your assignment that you are doing this week. So you want to make sure that you've got at least 10 different reasons. And I would say if you've got 3 graphs, you maybe want to have at least 3 explanations for each graph, and then that should add up to your 10. So in each of the following examples, I've described a graph, and then what I would like you to do is then explain it. So give at least 1 or 2 explanations for what was found. If you are not sure, I have put some help sheets. If you go to the general files area and you click on knowledge understanding, what you will find is you've got a wee help sheet for each particular topic. So it's done topic by topic, which should hopefully help you out. So the first one is a population pyramid of Kenya, and it shows you that in Kenya there are a high number of 0 to 4-year-olds. So there's a lot of children. So the explanation should be then given, well, why is it that they're having lots of children? So it could be that in developing countries they've got more children as they've got less family planning, less contraception, so that would be worth a mark. It could be that the children are required to work and provide money for the family, so that would be worth a mark. I've only done 2. I mean, I could have done loads there, but I'm just giving you a kind of flavour of what it should look like. There's a line graph showing the birth rate in Scotland has decreased, and then you would give reasons. Again, if you're not too sure, see if you click on the one about population structure. I mean, if you know already, that's fine, but these are just here to help you. And then it's just got some of the reasons why in developed countries they would have not so many children. You don't have to type all of them in, please do them in your own words. It's really just to give you a hint there. Shopping quality, so the graph shows that the parking scored better in the suburbs compared to the city centre. So you might want to Google, well, how many spaces are there at the Gyle? How much does it cost to park there compared to how it might cost in the city centre? So then why it might be better score in the suburbs. What do you think of traffic congestion in Edinburgh? So it shows you most people think Edinburgh's congested. So why might people think that city centre is congested? If you're not sure, if you just close this one down and then you go into the traffic congestion one, then if you go down the section in the middle, which has got some bullet points, it then just gives you some reasons why people might think that somewhere like Edinburgh might have lots of congestion. Again, you don't have to do all of these, you can put them in your own words, it's just to give you some help. The next one's a weather station circle, which shows you that in this particular day it was 70 degrees, quite hot, there was no clouds, so this was a high pressure day. So if you're not too sure, because I know weather was one of the topics that we did, just before things happen, so if you click on weather, it then gives you some reasons, well, why for a high pressure would the temperatures be warm and why wouldn't there be very many clouds? So that should help you out there. The next task is you're going to be the marker, just like what you have done a couple of times so far. So I've written in some explanations and you just need to say, well, how many marks do you think they would get for an explanation? Being careful that you do not give a mark for a description here. We're just looking for explanation. So the one I've done here is the environmental quality survey showed that the suburbs scored higher than the city centre. That's just a description, it doesn't give any reasons. So then it goes on to say Edge is closer to the countryside, that would get a mark. There's less air pollution because there's less traffic, that would get a mark. There's more gardens because the land's cheaper, so that would get a mark. Be careful, you're only given marks for explanation at this particular point. So the second one, my land use survey showed that most buildings in the city centre were commercial. That's just a description. So then it goes on to give reasons. So see how many marks you think it would get for that. About halfway through, it says that very few buildings in the city centre were residential. That's not an explanation. That's just a statement or a description. So that doesn't get a mark. Right, the next one, the graph shows the death rates in decline, then goes on to give a reason. If there's anything you think they could have done better here, then put that in. and then there's the one there for D. Right, for task 3, this is where I think it'd be a good idea for you to start taking notes, which will hopefully help you for your project. So in the city centre, what was the main land use? Why might this have been? You might want to look up your city for specific examples, or you might want to refer back to the land use survey document that you've got and what might be some specific examples. So if commercial was high, what were some of the buildings that were commercial? For the suburbs, what was the main land use, or what land use did they have here that they didn't have in the city centre? So residential, for example, why would you find more residential here? If you're looking for any pointers in the right direction, if you go to the land use document, what I've done in here is I've just given you some, just some pointers in the right direction. So, what would the land use, so this is for the city centre, why would it be commercial, why would it maybe not be residential, and then for the suburbs, why might there be some commercial, why would there be some residential, etc. So I'm going to read that at your own leisure, but that's just to point you in the right direction. So task 4, this is where you're going to do the bit for your actual project. So you've got quite a few different options here. The first option is you can just type in your answers here. Bearing in mind you want 10 marks worth, you want 10 different reasons. So you can just type them into there if you want. Or what you can do, obviously, if you're writing, you can just write it down and send me a picture and I'll type it in for you. Or what you can do is, see if you go back into the general section, the files. If you click on pupil assignments, now there's none there just now because I will be copying these over, is if you open up your assignment, so you'll find your assignment there. And if you, I'm just using this as Laurie's one. I've deliberately made it really small because obviously I don't want you reading her work. But in here you've got, in the conclusion section, she's got her descriptions in there. So what you could do is you could either add on your explanations at the end of each paragraph, or what you could do is you could just lump them all together at the end there. But bearing in mind, this section is worth 10 marks. So if you only send me work back that's a couple of sentences long, you know for a fact that's not going to be worth 10 marks. If you are really serious about National 5 and getting an A or B, you really need to be doing 10 different explanations in order to get the marks. Any questions, please let me know.